Welcome back to Near Dark Podcast, and this first episode in the rebooted Mini-sode series we started like 4 years ago, and which we abandoned, sorta, a year after or something like that.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about the first episode in the old Tales From The Crypt TV series. And we will do a couple of minisodes now and then, following the Tales From The Crypt TV series, basically. And perhaps there would be some other stuff thrown in there from time to time as well. Yeah.
Basically, for the time being, we're just gonna do Tales from the Crypt, but eventually we're gonna spread out to something more, something different. But there's a lot of content behind Tales from the Crypt right now, and it's a good show, so...
Yes, exactly. And the reason we are doing these minisodes for now is because we... got some stuff going on behind the scenes. The 100th episode is on the way. We haven't recorded it as of yet, but as soon as we got some stuff resolved, we will release that episode, which I hope won't be too far into the future. But in the meantime, you will get a couple of minisodes, and like I said, we're gonna start off with the very first episode of Tales from the Crypt, The Man Who Was Death.
Yeah, to make it a little bit easier on everyone, to be clear, life happens, and I'm sure everyone who's listening understands that, so...
Yeah, exactly. Alright, yeah?
Today... we are all here.
For once.
Yeah.
Which means we have Ogge, Josef, me, and Blue on the first episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the series.
Yes. Okay, should we jump into the plot and then talk a little bit about the first episode then?
Let's.
Okay. After working for 2 years in the electric workshop of a penitentiary,
yes.
Penitentiary, the electrician Niles Talbot has been promoted to executioner, operating an electric chair, and he appreciates his job. When the death penalty is abolished in his state, Niles loses his job, but he decides to become a vigilante, punishing criminals that are released by the justice system. So the first episode in the series is not one of the best ones. I've seen the entire series a couple of times, and I've been... Yeah, and I've been a long time fan of this TV series. And I think I saw the first episode I saw of Tales from the Crypt was back when I was 8 years old. I think I recorded it off the TV when it was aired in the middle of the night, and I watched it the following morning. And I've been a fan ever since. But the Man Who Was Death, William Sadler, who plays Niles, is a favorite actor of mine. I think he appears in 2 other episodes of this TV series as well. And he was also in the first feature-length movie of Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. But yeah, I think the first episode, it's alright. It's kind of low-key. There's a lot of talking, not much going on, really. What do you guys think? What are your experience of Tales from the Crypt?
I've seen it. I watched it some time ago, probably like 10 years or so. And I think I saw the first 2 seasons, and I really liked it. I think I like almost every episode at least.
Mm. There's not many episodes that are outright bad.
No.
There are a couple of them in there, but I would say like 95% of the of the entire series is top-notch quality, good stuff.
Yeah. As of the first episode, I think it's not one of the better ones, but it's a bit slow, but I still like it because of all the twists and just how things play out. It's a very smart story, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's really what makes Tales of the Crypt so good, is that each and every story is so like the storytelling is very clever with all the cool twists and so. And this episode has that, but it's a pretty slower pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were to rate it with 0 being the worst Tale of the Crypt episode and 10 being the best, I think it's I guess a 7. It's a good episode, but it's not one of the best ones.
Mm. Yeah, I kind of like that they made the episode like he's talking to the viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I really like about Tales of the Crypt. There's almost always like the main character talks to you as the viewer, and he tells his story and like his thoughts and stuff. I really like that.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
really stood out, and it worked really well. It made it feel a bit slow at times, but otherwise it added to the whole episode, I think. And the premise of it was very interesting to have an executioner lose their job but not their passion for said job.
Honestly, I don't really think it's a passion. I think like
Obsession.
with time, if you so basically, I think anyone who would execute people like that for 12 years straight, I think anyone would eventually snap and go bonkers like this man did, because he's trying to justify what he's doing.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if that is more of a part of the job or just one way it can twist you, because some people like him look people in the eye and make it a very personal thing, which makes you have a need to justify it because of how personal you yourself make it. Or there's the other side of things that you detach yourself from it and see it as a job only and just go through the mechanics of the whole thing without looking at the whole picture.
I mean, this guy definitely made it personal.
Oh yeah. He is the former of the two, and he definitely went down the route of simply being a killer his job, and when he got robbed of it, he
decided to become a vigilante and do everything on your own. Like my experience with Tales from the Crypt is the first time I watched it was in high school. Josef had it on his computer and was watching it when I came home from school. So I was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And sat down and I was like, "Bam!" I was hooked and started watching with him. I don't remember what season or what episode it was. All I knew is like I kind of enjoyed it, so I'm just gonna sit there and watch because my attention span is about the same with Chicken Nugget.
Nice.
I have watched the movie length ones.
Demon
Because we
Knight
did Mini-sode.
Demon Knight and Bordello of Blood.
Because we did minisodes on them, I don't remember anything. But I do remember that I prefer the bite-sized ones, which is the TV show version. And
Short and
yeah,
to the point.
yeah, basically, like I like the storytelling. The doll can become a little bit obnoxious at times, but nonetheless, I still enjoy the show. It's good stuff, but I also
You mean the Crypt Keeper?
yeah.
Okay.
He has his charms, but yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
He doesn't start to become. He starts to goof around more in season 2 and onwards.
Yeah. No, this is like we watched it back to back to back, and he became a little bit too much for my opinion, for my taste. But I also enjoy old movies over new movies and stuff. So the like the quality of the camera, the quality of the acting, the clothing and everything, that is what I really enjoy. So I think that's why I enjoy Tales from the Crypt a little bit more than maybe your average Joe in my age.
Yeah.
Old Joe. So.
What are your experience of Tales from the Crypt, Zombie?
Well, this is a first time watch. I have heard of it a lot and its praises. And the first episode and the other episodes I have watched are good, but I think the first one, unlike the other ones, could have been like... The other ones could have as well, but I feel like the first one worked most if it was a bit longer, because it felt a bit too fast in moments and a bit too slow at some points. So I think it didn't necessarily need to be a full-length film, but
You could have been like 5 minutes longer.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have gained a little bit if it was like 10 minutes longer or something. 5-10 minutes longer.
Simply
because
see him shift more.
Yeah, because it's pretty compressed, but it is an anthology story, so
Yeah,
it
because
needs to...
the other episodes I watched, they don't feel as, in a way, rushed or simply compressed, mainly, because we're gonna talk about them in another one, but they just feel more naturally the lengths they are, whilst the first one feel like you jump from point A to point B and a lot has happened between those jumps.
Yeah, like the kills are kind of rushed and stuff.
Yeah, like the third one sure is that way, but that's because it only points to the like important bits that are important to the character and important to how he got where he is now. And so those are not important parts because they are just background noise in a way. Whilst it felt like you missed certain parts in the first one in that regard.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking that we could talk about the twist in each episode as well. So if anyone is planning to watch the series, it's actually up on YouTube if anyone wants to watch. I would suggest that you go and watch it before you continue on listening. And what do you guys think about the twist in the first episode?
I thought it was. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of saw it coming, but I mean, it was just a short episode. Like, it was fun.
Yeah, with the cover art you get from the what was his name?
The Crypt Keeper.
The Crypt Keeper. That cover, you kind of saw it coming. That he was the one sitting in the chair in the cover, so it kind of felt like, oh, he's gonna be it.
The twist ending in the first episode is basically what they do in almost every episode. That each episode is about an asshole who gets what they deserve.
Yeah.
At the end.
That.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a couple of episodes that isn't really like that. It's about someone who gets what they don't deserve, really, but it's a cruel twist to the story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I personally really like the twist ending of the first episode. It's I don't really know what to say about it. I mean, it's
I feel like the biggest twist in it all is that he who talks about how everyone is screaming and begging when they start to sit in the chair, and
they become chicken shits, and then he becomes one himself.
Yeah, I feel like that was the biggest twist because of how much he talked about it, that he who knows about it wouldn't fall to the same level, so to speak. But yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. But he was kind of right in the beginning. Everybody turns into chicken shit.
Yeah.
Even himself.
Yeah. Like, it's twists like that that makes the show so good. So
Yeah.
almost every episode has a twist like that. That either it's some type of poetic justice or something, or it could also be something that you don't see coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the twists are usually really clever as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It wasn't a bad first episode of the whole series.
No, I think it's a good introduction.
Yeah, it gets you hooked on what's to come.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's low key, but it got some really good bits in it. But it's really, slow paced and everything. But it got a killer twist, with no pun intended.
It really puts the tone of the series in a way. I don't really have any real experience about it, but I can guess upon it.
You are very correct.
About assholes getting what they deserve, and also just that they don't pull any. They don't pull themselves back, because due to the fact that they started off with a story about an executioner.
All right, let's wrap this one up then. This was the first in the rebooted Mini-sode series we're gonna do, and I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, have a good one.
Bye.